like I said, we are very rational. Sisi ni hisabu. Okay. What percentage of women would agree if I came and sat down with her and tell her, look, honey, I want to get married to someone else? For us, that's very, very tough to execute. So what's the alternative?
Takes both.
So what's the outcome? So we look at the outcomes. If I take this route, what's the outcome? Most likely, I'll go through emotional trauma and not get married. And also, for my rest of my life, be confined to be reminded that squile, wala sijaribu, for the rest of my life. Okay? That's one. Okay. Number two, I do it in secret. I kick the can down the road and I'll cross the bridge once I get there. So
that happens when a man fears.
It's conflict avoidance. We call it conflict avoidance. So in the sense that what I'm going to do is nitaificha mpaka as much as I can.
But that is even worse.
You see, that's from a woman's perspective. That's worse. From a woman's perspective.
Yes.
From a man's perspective, no, it's not.
What?
Okay.
So Sheikh, and mashallah, you've brought it out very clearly. فذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين. يعني you've done it very well. umetukumbusha. Kuna now this thing that you've said it, you're rational, you looked at this thing, you looked at polygamy, umeifikiria mentally, you know, and you've seen that, hey, mi naweza ingia sasa.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. And then your expectation will be, I'll talk to my wife and inshallah itakuwa sawa. And then you find out kuwa si sawa, because we are all emotionally driven human beings. We have invested in this marriage, unajua, and then unaenda tu kuleta tu hivyo sasa, and emotions are there. Mwanamke maskini ameudhika, ameingiwa na hasira, ameingiwa na uwivu, alafu unajua sasa tena na uwivu inakuja na uchungu, inakuja, yani ni kama ulifungua, wajua hiyo kosa uwe inafungua ile yote tulikuwa tunakusamea the whole time in marriage, tumekuvumilia. Kwanza kama ulikuwa umesota ndo utajua hiyo siku vizuri sana. You know?
Yes.
So it's like you've uncanned everything, kila kitu imetoka. And here you are as a husband. What is the best way to deal with this situation? Kusema ukweli, as a man who has loved this woman, hivyo tumesema ulikwenda kwao ukamchukua tu vizuri, yani according, now put this man who ambaye akona takwa, you know, he's following the sunnah, he's doing what Allah has, hana makosa, anafuata vile dini imesema, but huyu pia ni mke wako. So how do you advise the best way to deal with this situation?
First disclaimer, I'm not a sheikh. I'm just an average guy
who's
here to share his experience and a little bit of knowledge.
Okay.
So,
from a best way.
From a man's perspective, like I said, we are very rational. Sisi ni hisabu. Okay. What percentage of women would agree if I came and sat down with her and tell her, look, honey, I want to get married to someone else? For us, that's very, very tough to execute. So what's the alternative?
Takes both.
What's the alternative? So if it's a decision tree, so I've decided I want to get married. Mathna. I want to get married to another woman. This way I am, okay?
Kabisa.
So we look at option one. When I sit nikimkalisha mke wangu nikimwambia, most likely it will end up becoming emotional and everything else, and I care for this woman. There's going to be maybe violence, not limited to that. Okay? And much more. Yes. Okay. So that's one. So what's the outcome? So we look at the outcomes. If I take this route, what's the outcome? Most likely, I'll go through emotional trauma and not get married. And also, for my rest of my life, be confined to be reminded that squile, wala sijaribu for the rest of my life. Okay, that's one. Okay. Number 2, I do it in secret. I kick the can down the road and I'll cross the bridge once I get there. So
that happens when a man fears.
I mean we
umekata head on collision.
Kabisa,
head
kabisa.
on collision kabisa. Sasa unachukua ile
kabisa.
The next
so
junction.
it's conflict avoidance. It's conflict avoidance. We call it conflict avoidance. So in the sense that what I'm going to do is nitaificha mpaka as much as I can.
But that is even worse.
See, that's from a woman's perspective. That's worse. From a woman's perspective.
Yes.
From a man's perspective, no, it's not.
What?
So I kick the can down the road, across the bridge, tajua mbele, wacha safari yangu.
But khiyana, akhi, that's khiyana.
No.
Wallah khiyana.
So for example, knowing that, let's look at the modalities.
Unakhini, that love that was there between you, the trust between you guys.
So, number 1, for a marriage to be valid,
okay,
I don't need my first wife to even know about it.
Yes, kweli sheria imesema.
Absolutely.
Sheria imesema. Sheria ikisema
when it comes
but you do it out of respect. You tell your wife out
care,
of respect
and concern.
Care, rahma.
Of course. How do I come and tell you, because if I'm ruthless, not ruthless is not the right word. If I'm heartless, come to me and say, mimi kesho naoa. Ni tengitarishe nguo zangu. So that's now the removing the band-aid approach. Wewe piga kelele zako hapo, wewe mimi kesho mimi naoa.
But that comes when there's no love maybe between you guys.
So that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. Women,
but when it is still there, we are talking of a situation.
Yes.
Hamja, it's not see ati ugomvi imefika to an extent that it was just a normal marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think regardless of whatever decision you take, women are still going to view it as betrayal. Regardless.
Yes.
And I don't think
so hata kama ni
so wacha ni meet my objectives right now. Wacha ni enjoy, let me do this, okay? I'll tackle this thing huko mbele. Wacha tuone how it is.
So that is why this is when the secret marriage comes in.
Yes.
When a man is not confident enough, let me use that word.
Yes, you can use that word.
And he fears.
Yes.
في خوف نوعا ما من الخوف ليس.
Absolutely.
So saile hana hiyo confidence ya kuapproach, hana hiyo energy, tunaweza tusema hataki tu ugomvi, hataki tu mambo mingi.
You can look at it that way. You can look at it that way, or
hivyo ndo nyinyi mnaangalia.
Or you are trying to say, I don't have the emotional capabilities right now to deal with that.
Emotional capability.
Because it's the emotions now come into play. I don't have the emotional capability right now
to deal with that. To help
my wife.
First, what you're telling yourself, kwanza wacha niingie kwa hii ya pili.
Yes.
I get what is it that brought me in that marriage in the first place. Labda ulikuwa unatafuta utulivu wa nafsi. Labda ulikuwa ile kitu tu ilikupeleka huko. Most of the time the way we view it as women yani
most you think it's last.
Yeah, it's just last. Ile ilikupeleka pale. So ukishaenda pale secretly ukatimiza haja yako and now you're okay, so you feel like a man, now I'm ready now to talk, kupigana naye. Which is acceptable at the end
and
of the
by the way, let me also add a little bit to it. And during that period, for example, it's 5 years. You've kept it secret for 5 years.
5 years.
I mean, and people keep it secret for decades. Okay, let's say you've kept it secret for 5 years. Okay, during those 5 years, and that's just how to show how men we think in terms of rationality is. We come back to and say, but during these 5 years, you didn't know. I was the same person.
Nothing changed.
Your needs were provided. So why the fuss?
Okay.
Yes. So, like I said, man, we think this way. Women think this way. Amen. Man think this way. We think this way because we present data.
data. It's always rational.
It's always rational. We don't have the
SubhanAllah. Let me just look at this. This is the scenario, my
Yes.
dear. Yeah? So a man is not ready to tell the wife that he wants to marry.
Yes.
So he's avoiding everything that you've talked about.
Yes.
Haya. Umekwenda siri. By the way, this is another topic.
Yes, absolutely.
Umeenda kwa kisiri.
Yes.
And we don't know what is the Islamic verdict of this siri kwanza.
Okay.
Hiyo ni another day, maybe
Okay.
we can call a sheikh anaweza kutufafanulia fiqh yake vizuri.
Okay.
But now a man goes into sir, and the way we've described it, sheikh, kusema ukweli, we see in polygamy that there's a lot of abuse in secret marriages when it comes to polygamy. Who gets abused? Both, but sana ni ule wa pili. Because she is being held as a secret wife, so she's not the elephant. Ushamkata kucha zake zote. So there's a lot of abuse that come from men from that side, because they're being rational. No, they're not being rational, they're being lustful, coming into the marriage and saying, we unajua nilikuwa nakutaka because kulikuwa kelele mingi sana huku, sasa nilikuja we unitulize. But sasa vile umenituliza na naona nimekupatia mtoto moja, pia sasa kuna negligence on that side from men. I don't know what you have to say about that, because that is what is killing polygamy when it comes to secret marriages. Yeah.
So number one,
and what is your advice on men who are...
So let me now paint what I think
because
about
as a rational hapo sioni inafanya kazi
tena.
I'm
coming to that. You had mentioned whether in Islam secret marriages have legitimacy or not. So if you look at the prerequisites for any marriage to happen, number one, they have to be Muslim.
Yes.
They have to be Baligh.
Aqil.
Absolutely.
Qadir.
Should not be coerced. Okay. Upate idhni ya wali wake. Okay. Now, how many witnesses? If it's men, 2. If it's women,
I don't know.
Double that. Typically 4. Okay. So
women wanakuwa witness katika
if there's no options.
There's no options. Okay.
So do I need to tell my first wife? It's not there.
It's not written. It's not there.
Yes.
Tumesema si lazima.
So absolutely. So secret marriages are like any other marriages, except that people don't go to the halls and publicize it and put it on social media and
maybe
like
it's her first time marriage.
Possible. But like Rafiddin, you've come to marry my daughter, for example. I'm the dad. Okay? Come my daughter. Yes, I'm married and I have a wife and children. These are my conditions. Okay? I want to make it secret.
From the beginning.
Get go. I want to make it secret.
Aki ya Mungu. Men with data. Hakuna mambo mingi.
It's very simple. Cards on the table. I want to make it secret. This is my mahar. And this is my schedule.
Good.
This is my schedule.
Perfect.
I can only come to you during this time. I can only come to you over the weekends. Are you okay with this contract? Sign off. Let's agree. Washa, if it's
Baba yuko hapo?
Because Baba is the custodian, is the guardian.
So we are talking of secret marriage that imeenda vile sharia imesema.
Vile sharia imesema, because even number 2 lazima I have to go and ask for idhni kwa babake.
Na wengine unajua ni kadhi tu ndo anamaliza hiyo story.
Shona, idhni kwa babake. Sawa, iko scenarios where a woman has been divorced where it is said that amri anawe yeye mwenyewe anaweza jiozesha as long as she meets the criteria. Okay? But why wouldn't she bring a guardian to the table? Why wouldn't she bring a guardian to the table, especially when it comes to marriage? Many a times women tend to make decisions out of emotions. Nampenda. He's come to me.
Yeah, he's tall, he's dark, he's handsome.
He has come to me. Yes, I know he has a wife. I'm okay.
Because sometimes, women, we get into secret marriages because even us, inafika mahali, maybe she's divorced with kids. Now you want that emotional support. I can say you want somebody to take care of you emotionally. You want somebody to take care of you, holistically, kila kitu. And so unaona mtu wenyewe anaweza. So unakubali tu na unakubali na hiyo sharti. So I look at it kweli. So huwa haina shida until mwanaume atakeuka. Ama?
Absolutely.
When the abuse comes nyinyi mshakubaliana
Yeah.
kwa kadhi, kila kitu, umepewa mtoto, amekubali the days, the father knows kila
Yes.
kitu. I think the abuse come when this man does not prolongs the time of telling the wife. Wajua pia sisi wanawake hatupendi kufichwa sana.
But
Wajua ukishanificha mwaka
so
sawa,
did
ukishanificha
I dictate to you a timeline? Did I
maybe
tell
you didn't, maybe you didn't. If you did, then
Yes.
we have to live by this.
With that,
Almuslimin ala
kabisa?
ala shurutihim, si ndio?
Absolutely.
So hiyo sharti iliyekwa sawa.
Yes.
But kuna wengine
Okay. So
they take too long to avail you.
So my point I'm trying to put across is this. You've married me. As a man, nishakubali, nimekuoa, sio? I'm providing every need that you need. The only issue, you want to publicly known. So for us now, we go back to 0 and 1s. Why? You've lived 2 years, hujaonekana. You can live another 2 years.
Jamani.
You can live another 2 years. What has changed? I've given you every need.
Nachoka tu kufichwa.
Kwa nini unataka kujulikana?
I'm proud to be your wife.
So this,
I want to be seen as your wife.
But so
Jamani, yeye tu
exactly,
ndio ionekana kila mahali na wewe. Hata mimi nataka kuonekana.
Exactly. So there's a social construct. Why does your legitimacy of being my wife is pegged on you being known in public as my wife?
Allahu Akbar. Allah.
So see how we think? So what I'll do?
Oh, maybe you're not proud.
It doesn't matter. See, I'm with you there. Why do you need external validation?
Allahu Akbar.
So see how men we think?
Aki ya Mungu mnafikiria vibaya.
No, but you see, hata nyinyi pia hamufanyi vizuri. Why do you need external validation for you to be comfortable as my wife?
I don't know.
See, that's exactly the point.
We don't have an answer to that. Maybe my guests watakuwa na answers. Yeah.
Maybe. Yes. Because maybe. Do you feel a bit less than a wife because you're not known? I mean, let's pose a question.
We'll pose a question.
Yeah. Do you feel less of a wife if you're in polygamy and you're not known?
Okay.
That now pegs me into another.
Okay, because also I don't have a lot of experience in that, but we let the women who have been secret marriages watuambie their view on that also. Yeah.
So that brings me to a different tangent altogether, in the sense that at what point do I bring third parties into my marriage as a man? So for example, my second wife I've married, okay? I do not need to tell my father or my mother or anybody else.
As a man. Yani unamficha mpaka wazazi wake?
It's my prerogative.
Inafanyikaga, yes, it happens.
Because in my opinion, it has nothing to do with them. My marriage has nothing to do with them.
Nakwambia, lakini nyi wanaume, si sheria ya Islam wallahi imewaguide vizuri, imewaprotect. Nakwambia hadha min fadlillah.
But I agree.
Yutihi man yasha, Sheikh.
But manza, I'm not a sheikh, please.
You are supposed to be very grateful. Yani
absolutely,
it has really protected you people.
Absolutely, we are. But
yani wewe wazao hata mamako asijue, mamako, your siblings, your people, kila mtu
nobody asijue. Naweza chukua a stranger from the road awe witness.
Allahu Akbar.
Yes, but it also comes with a caveat. Is I'm mas'ul.
A responsibility.
Mimi ndo mas'ul. So as much as I'm given this privilege or power, it comes with a huge responsibility. It's not just being given to us just for the sake of this and we play around with it. And a lot of men don't understand this. By going into polygamy, you're increasing your risks of failure and kumuudhi Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because now you've taken responsibility on another creature of Allah. Another lady
of Allah,
who you are mas'ul.
Amana.
Yes. The moment, so now you had this woman, amana. You had this one, and now unaongeza pili, so you're increasing your risks of kumdhulumu. So you really have to know what you're getting yourself into.
Perfect.
You really have to know.
Perfect.
Yeah. So again, I was coming to, who do I bring into my marriage?
Yes.
Okay.
As a third party.
And this also extends to making polygamy work or not. one of the biggest challenges we've seen when it comes to the success factor of polygamy is, a lot of people say, look, it's the man who's the rijal, who's supposed to lead and make sure that this works. Okay? But everybody within that polygamy setup has a role to play. Okay? The first wife, tuseme hapo ashajua and everything else, the first wife should not, I repeat again, should not do what is against Islam, to try and influence the husband kumwacha mke wa pili, and vice versa. It does happen, especially with threats. Chagua ni mimi ama yeye. It does happen. Now I think Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a woman does so, when a woman gets to that point and manages to influence the husband, amwache yule mke mwingine bila hasitosikia harufu ya pepo. And we know we are in this earth for one thing, it's a test. Everything that we go through is a test. So yes, polygamy is a test for women. Now, that can lead you to Jannah directly or can lead you otherwise. And let me give a tip right now, and I think it's very important that women really pick this from me. I've seen it from numerous men. When the first wife accepts it and supports it, we are extremely grateful to a point where it bothers us. I've had someone come to me telling me, Nasir, sijui nimlipe nini mke wangu wa kwanza. Wallahi alazim. Sijui nimlipe nini. Kwa nini? Yani najua ile jambo gumu. She went through, in fact, the first night is the night that she cried her heart out. The morning after Fajr, akaja kanikalisha akasema, alhamdulillah, ni mtihani Mwenyezi Mungu amenipa. Okay? I'll try to work on it, tulikubali, lakini alhamdulillah. Okay? Let's plan on when utagawanya siku and everything else. Up to today, the guy, I think it's been over 5 years or 6 years, he still has 2 wives. Whenever we have a conversation, he tells me, sijui nimlipe nini mke wangu. Do you get it? So if you really want to get to your husband's heart, and of course it will open up, you'll
if
get
you
your
really want this to work, because
really
at that point,
yes.
hata umfikiri tena hati yake,
yes.
you know, you're just so angry.
Yes.
So if you really want this to work,
yes.
You
really have to
be rational again about it.
I think the key word is acceptance. We accept that hu
It
ni
is the
mtihani
qadar
from
of
Allah, ni qadar Allah, ni mtihani mekupa, reach out to Allah.
Na ni mtihani like any other mtihani.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's just a,
absolutely.
it is mtihani like any other mtihani.
And I usually say, I think I was talking to you about it last week, about how we view men, for women, how they view their husbands. Okay. And I'd like to pose a question is, why do we need to give sadaqah? You've worked, you've earned money, that's your hard-earned money, but yet you still give sadaqah.
Yes. Okay?
And it's risk. Sadaqah is risk. But we draw the line when it comes to your husband. Your husband, as a form of risk, you will not share him. You'll share money, but you'll not share your husband. In fact, you'd rather be a widow than a co-wife.
Wallahi. Yes. You'd rather be divorced.
Exactly.
You'd rather be divorced.
Some of them are widow. I mean, they will do one some of them, when the husbands pass away, alhamdulillah, tumehitmishana. Ingekuwa niolelea, sijui ingekuwaje.
Women.
You get me?
Yeah.
And that comes to now the emotional component.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you. I get you very well. So you say the deal here is for Muslim women, when they're afflicted with this news of polygamy, they take it like any other news. The news that first of all you take it in and you say alhamdulillah that this imenifika kweli, and you act in accordance to the teachings of Islam.
Absolutely.
According to the Quran. And according to the teachings of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when musiba imekupata, because hiyo ni musiba.
Absolutely.
It is musiba. So that is the advice that we are giving the women whenever, if it ever finds you. I think that's how it should be. And personally, I can tell my fellow women is tumkimbilie Allah. tumkimbilie Allah, tusikimbilie ati nakwenda kumwambia mamangu, nakwenda kumwambia sijui my best friend about this news. I think when polygamy news strikes any Muslim woman, the first person she should run to is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you seek his guidance. Allahumma hadini, Allahumma yani Allah nitulize moyo wangu so that I can be rational about the decision that I'm making. Because a lot of women today, we are driven by the culture.
Absolutely.
We are driven by the culture. And we are still living in a time where the culture, culturally, mwanaume akioa ni arun alayki. Like, you as a woman, you did not do good enough. You are not a woman. Yeah, you are not a good wife. You know, you ulikuwa uko na upungufu, ndo maana mwanaume alikwenda. So there's a lot of things that come into the woman's mind at this time. And tukubali sote wawili tutakubaliana that when it afflicts the woman, we go back to Allah. And you as a man, when you're about to make this decision, you also go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the guidance.
Absolutely.
Inshallah.
So let me add something. There was a very interesting case a few years back. This man married this lady, and this lady came to know that my husband is married. Of course, kulikuwa na mtihani hapo a few days, and then she settled down and said, alhamdulillah, okay, I would like to meet this lady. Yes, absolutely. Mlete nyumbani kwangu. So jamaa kamleta, they familiarized with each other, and she even gave her hadia udi na leso. Sorry, using Swahili kind of setup.
Yes.
Leso,
very beautiful, mashallah.
Okay, so she was, for us as men, she was almost there. I mean, almost 70-80%, she's almost getting there in terms of acceptance. Because who woman in her right mind does that? No offense.
I think acceptance ndo kitu. Acceptance ni kitu mzito.
So what happened?
It will take time.
What happened? When this lady's mom heard what she had done, she summoned, keyword being summoned her. What type of woman are you? Utakubali vipi? Una ghera we mwanamke. Ungemwagia maji moto.
Wallahi.
Yes. So now you see the social norms, the social structures that surround us play a key role. So now if a woman, and by the way, it went headway after that.
Of course, that's what I'm trying. Culturally,
yes,
culture
it went headway after that. So she completely
especially
changed.
Kenyan, modern, pia, being a Kenyan, kuna hiyo stereotypes that come from other places.
So it went down the drain. So she started retrogressing.
Okay. Sometimes bringing in the second wife or the third wife inaleta divorce. So unaona unaleta khairi ambaye inaleta shari.
I think it's yes, it does happen, and especially to some of us. It's how women view this whole thing. Okay.
So you bring in khair and then you bring in shar.
Because and I wanted to raise this.
Ata divorce ni khair.
By the way, anything that happens
there's
to
no
us,
sharri min Allah. By the way,
happens to us is khair. Absolutely.
Tukoradi. By the way, it's
Absolutely.
true. Everything that comes from Allah is khair.
So if you use that framework, use that methodology to look at polygamy. If everything that comes from Allah is khair, why are we stressing? Why are we fussing? Why are women fussing? Why are women there are some women losing their minds. Subhanallah. Yes, Allah musta'an. Why? So now, again, I'm going to use the same sentence. If mumeumbwa hivyo, we can also say tumeumbwa hivi pia sisi kupenda wanawake. If you're going to use that same, the door swings both ways. Because, truth be told, hata si tumeumbwa hivi.
Kweli.
Yes. And that's why Allah has given us provisions for. That means ametuumba from the get-go. Yes. But I think what I foresee is
a man's perspective ni ngumu.
And that's the thing. We also look at it from your perspective, saying, hey, you guys are going through a tough time, because you see, you can't control emotions. We can control our thoughts. That's why we are leaders. We are able to measure and say, no, this is not right, this is not right. A woman's, most of the time, is reaction.
You see,
so we are leaders of women, to be honest, because we're able to guide, and women definitely have input. They can provide their own input in their own way for us to be better leaders. Makes sense.
Sadaqta.
Yeah. So what am I foreseeing? I'm foreseeing polygamy becoming mainstream. Because I think we can all agree that, number one, the population of women to men is on the rise. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as we head towards the Yawm al-Qiyamah, the ratio will get to 50 to 1.
Yes, yeah, 50 to 1. Actually,
Yes.
in Saini, I think 10. We are at
So-
10.
So,
We are at 10.
and we're still having these problems. Look at the caliber of men that we have currently in our society. I am cognizant, and I speak to my wife on a almost frequent occasion about who my daughters. Definitely, we have a methodology of bringing up our sons. That's let me park it there. But who are our daughters going to be married to? Because it gets to a point where there's some things my daughters need I can't provide. Only a husband can provide. Okay. So the question is, let's say option number one, they're going to say, Dad, I've not out, hakuna mtu amekuja forthcoming, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to study, I'm going
Which
to do
is
this.
the case today.
Highly likely.
Most of the cases now are like that.
So number two, she's going to say, Dad, I want to get married to this man. Okay. He's not the man that I aspired to get, but I think I'll settle down with this man. Okay. I'll be the breadwinner. I'll be the one who's running the family. This guy, wanaudhu billah, mse wa jaba, kilala, nini. I'm going to lower my standards. And get
Or maybe
married to
hata
this.
sijaba ni mekata kujipa, life imekata tu
Absolutely.
kujipa. Yeah.
Or, but see, and that's the thing I'm coming to is, the criteria is what? Deen and akhlaq. When I'm measuring
Yes.
someone who wants my daughter. If someone is hardworking and Mwenyezi Mungu hajamjalia riziki, that's different. That's not within him. I can't hold him accountable for that. But he has to have the right akhlaq. Okay? So, using that framework, my daughter will say, so Dad, there's this person who's come, his akhlaq is at 20%, but I'll settle for that.
Allah.
Wanaudhu billah. Okay? Sawa.
Hey.
And then option 3, this guy will come and his deen is on point, his diligence, his akhlaq is admirable, but my daughter is going to be number 2 or number 3 or number 4. So what would I, for example, encourage my daughter to pick?
Yote mbaya, yote tatu.
Which one is the lesser evil?
The third one. Akhlaki yake nzuri nini?
Yes.
Lakini sasa msichana wetu mdogo tuenda kumpeleka wapi kule maskini?
But sasa, if the akhlaq is right, if the hazlaq is right,
No, I'm not talking as Ustadh Aisha, but
Yeah.
I'm talking on behalf of the community.
On the
like
society.
watu watasema society, watasema maskini mtoto wetu ni wapi kule? Ndio mashallah.
But-
Mtu mzuri lakini
but surprisingly, there's a sprinkle of hypocrisy when it comes to society zetu.
Sana.
Okay. Kivipi? My wife would do the wedding. My people will do the wedding. Then they will dance. They will do everything else. But my wife might not want me kuongeza bibi. Yet the daughter ameolewa kama mke wa pili. My sister will come all the way from wherever she is. She'll bring goodies. In fact, she's the one most likely is going to bring the gown
kweli. So
and
there's
everything
hypocrisy.
else.
Hapo
So,
by then nimekubali.
Yes.
Nimekubali. So out of the 3 choices,
Yes.
we find the third choice to make sense.
Yeah.
And of course it's the best one.
Yeah.